Hi guys, it's Jamie here, and today we're going to be looking at how to make interesting pages that someone can still write on in their journal and still see through, just using ink pads and ink stamps. If I use alternative products in this video, I will explain like the different things that you can do to replicate that or replace it. And I have tried in the subtitles to give you step by step of what I'm doing, and I will link any inspiration for this down in the description, the link to any channels that inspired me to make this particular video. This is going into my daughter's gothic themed horror journal, so this page will be going in amongst many others, and I just thought it makes a nice change from a very simple coffee stained tea dyed paper, which obviously will also be going into her journal. Anyway, let's go back to the beginning of this. I'm going to try and create a journaling page that is useful and artistic by only using stamps for my daughter's junk journal for her birthday. As you can see, this has already been, I think this was coffee dyed, might have been the tea, but it's already got some patina to it, and in a way that's interesting enough. But there are going to be a lot of journal pages and a few pockets and tags and things, so I'm going to try and create something a little bit more than. First thing is using the Distress ink stamps. Going to put a couple of colours down. So this one is the tea dye, which if that was tea dye is quite appropriate, and this one is Vintage Photo, obviously still sticking with the grungy Victorian theme. And as you can see, I'm randomly spreading them on this wax paper, greaseproof paper, deli sheets, whatever you call them. And then, because it is a Distress oxide, going to react it up. When it's got enough to start to react, hopefully mix, I am going to just swipe this through and see what effect that gives to the page. And the same on the back side. Could actually spread it a bit more if you want. And that might just take off some of the colour off the whiteness where it didn't dye that well. So let's just put that there and let it dry. I think this is a beautiful, subtle result, but I wasn't looking for subtle. So we're going to switch up the inks a bit and go with the peeled paint and maybe some more Vintage Photo. I don't think I want to go bright colours, and see if we can get a stronger result this time. Okay, and to save a bit of time, we're going to use the air dryer to see what the result's like. I'm still looking for more of a result, so I'm going to get some clingfilm. In America you call this plastic wrap or saran wrap, and I am going to, I've seen this on another channel, I will link that channel below, pick up any of this and see what happens if we splodge that. I think I might be putting some more down on here. I'm going to go with the green. I love this peeled paint. I'm running out of space, of course. Do you believe this is actually a worktop? It's just full of so much other stuff that you wouldn't know it. I'm going to turn the paper this way and then go this way with it. And if you think that's too strong, just blast it with a bit of water. Give it a bit of a blast. Fold it over. Just play, basically. Just play. Okay, and dry that one off. Now we're actually going to do some stamping. I'm going to use the vintage photo, and we're looking for it to not stand out too much. It's more background, more just catch your eye type stamping. So these are corners. Not looking for perfection in the corners. Anything that you're not happy with, you can just spray, because these are still oxides. I might do a different one. Let's go with this tea stain. It's not my favourite, but it might do the trick this time because it's subtle. I might even add it a little bit to ones that are already damp. Here I've got a bit of a alphabet type stamp. I'm just trying to get little bits of it on. In fact, it might be easier to do it without a block, so you can press down the bits you want to press down. And now we've got a big script stamp which even has ink splodges on it, and again creating a sort of border with that. Next we're going to use some paint with the stamp. Yeah, I did just say that. I am giving this a go. Just mush that around a bit. Obviously if you use paint on a stamp, wash the stamp pretty quickly. This is like a little, I don't know what you'd call it, list thing. Let's just see what happens. Ooh, sticks. Yay, that's pretty good. The next thing we're going to try is paint again, but this time a white, because I have a skeleton. My daughter's journal is for her love of horror movies. So although I'm making it around Halloween, it's not actually a Halloween journal. Pop him down there. I'm not expecting him to come out perfectly because that's a pouring acrylic. So very loose in comparison to a normal. I couldn't find my normal white acrylic. Now I know that you cannot see that, but I'm going to let that dry, and then we're going to see if that's created any kind of resistance to other watercolours going there. For this stage you can use anything you want. I just happened to have recently purchased these watercolour crayons, so I want to play with these, but you can use anything. I'm just picking a colour that I fancy using, maybe this mustardy colour. And then where I've stamped this skeleton in white, I'm going to try this. So just sort of scribble around it. Oh wow, these are lovely. And then get some water on here and a paintbrush. So you could use a paintbrush with distress inks if you've got them. You could use watercolour pencils, anything that you can make runny with water basically. And I'm going to see if this is going to work or not work. I might need to put a bit more here because you'd always be darker at the edges anyway. Never used these before. They are kind of cool though. Maybe you need to actually scribble over the skeleton. What do we reckon? Because he's wet now. I'll just bring this up and see. I think you can sort of see. I think it would have been better if I'd had an acrylic. I can sort of see a skeleton. He was bigger than I've done him. Probably one of the problems. Let's see if I can get that to run. Whoa. Yes, you can. Right. Yeah, now he's beginning to pop. See? Can you see that? How fascinating. Look at that. It's like those... Did anyone have them as a kid? Those magic pages, secret writing. It's a bit like that. This is appealing to my childish nature now. Oh, we're beginning to get a ghostly skeleton. Oh, I love it. I love it. Can you see that? I know, I'm being really, really childish, but look at that. Amazing. Oh, wow. I really recommend doing that technique. Oh, I'm impressed. Oh, excited. I actually really, really like this effect here. So I am going to, because I've got to wait for this to dry anyway, get some of these watercolour crayons and do a bit more of that. And I like this colour. So I'm going to just do a little bit more around this edge. These are great. And they were not that expensive. Can't remember how much I paid for them, but honestly it was quite reasonable when you think how much art supplies normally are. And I didn't buy a huge, I just read the reviews, you know, I didn't go for like the most expensive brand. Just Amazon, by the way. So it's watercolour crayons if you're interested in them. No links or anything because I can't be bothered with all that commission and stuff. Now we're going to do a bit of mark making. So I'm taking the darkest colour I have, which is the espresso in the Distress Oxide, getting it on the edge of a card and just hopefully popping some lines down. Maybe this one's a bit dry now. Those lines aren't showing up very much. I might switch to black. Let's just switch to black. See if we can get a bit more marks on here. It is meant to be quite subtle because this is about having a paper rather than that you write on, rather than highly decorative stuff. It's just to make the paper more interesting. Just something random. When you feel like you've done enough, you've done enough. What I was going to do is do it in a different colour, same thing, but this time use the campfire. Yeah, that shows up much better. Look at that. Lovely. See if we can get some circle stuff going on. Oh, for a circle stamp, so I don't get it all over my nails, which I am at the moment. Do it that way. Honestly, sometimes my brain. Again, you're just trying to get that old paper look. I think that's enough of those circles. It's beginning to come together, isn't it? It would be quite nice to go back in, but do some stamping actually in black. Maybe with some stamps that we've already used or some new ones, like this one is a lacy design. I'm going to try it without the acrylic block and then try it with, see which way I prefer. Kind of cute, isn't it? Right, let's try it with an acrylic block. Unfortunately, the big acrylic block is still in the kitchen because, of course, I left it there when I washed it of paint, as you do. Let's just see what happens if we do it like that. Much clearer. but maybe I don't like it that clear. I'm not sure. Prefer it a bit more faded, definitely. Then anything else that you want to do? So I might put some more script on. I mean, it is just play until you get to a result you think, wow, that looks decent. Just do a bit there. That's actually probably upside down. Nice. A faded one here. Very nice. It's beginning to look like really nice journaling pages now. Very individual. Now this is a normal ink pad, admittedly. Not a distress, but it should be okay. Get some water. And flick. No? Nothing? Aha. Have to go a bit mad. Yeah, over my wall as usual. Right, definitely grunging that up beautifully. Nice. With the vintage photo, just age the edges as much or as little as you want. If anyone's got an awesome way to store stamps, please let me know, because the way I store them isn't working. I'm going to use purple. I know we've got red already. I'm going to find a word. So let's try putting, is that going to be the right way round? Condemned. That's going to be the right way round. Let's try putting it there. Let's see what happens. If we don't like it, don't know. Okay, that didn't show up as much as I would have liked. It's okay, we can do it on another page. These are not going to be together. Maybe try a red. Let's put a condemned there and see what we think. Yeah, cool. I'm liking that bit of green on there. All looking slightly different. Actually, I'm perfectly happy with that. What I would normally do is I would do this so that I maybe lay a load of these up on the breakfast bar, did all the colouring first, then all the background stamping, then maybe the resist, then maybe the line making, all in a row, so that you get 10 papers done in one hit rather than individually. But I wanted to show you how you can get a really nice journaling page that someone can still write on. Obviously it needs a bit of iron maybe, that's interesting without, you know, just by using stamping and a bit of colouring. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so other people can see it. I try to upload 5 times a week. At the moment it's more like 3 to 4, trying to up the game again. So if you'd like to subscribe, I do this type of thing, art journaling, junk journaling and ephemera making. Yeah, I do all of that. Yeah, just double checking with myself. And let me know what you think of this idea of creating pages using stamping and colour backgrounds in the comments. And I will see you next time.